Do you have a chronic surfboard addiction, specifically the classic kind? You're in the right place. My name is WRV, and this is Classic Glass. Today's video is going to be chock full of a whole bunch of different things. Not only are we going to be talking about this board, but we're also going to be doing a restoration on it, meeting the guy that shaped it, as well as surfing it. So stay tuned and let's get to it. Today, we're looking at a board of my own alma mater. This is a 1968 WRV surfboard. So this 9.3 log is just packed with some transition era fun. It's a wing nose, and it goes into a lot of roll in the pintail, as well as a lot of tail kick. You got to remember, at this time, they weren't just thinking about nose riding, they were also thinking about maneuvering, getting more radical with their turns and stuff like that. There was a deck patch on here, and from everything I could find out, it wasn't original. The guy I bought this board off of about 3 years ago in the Hampton Roads area, he told me the guy he bought it off of was the original owner, and he found it, but it was stolen from him right after he bought it, and they found it under a house in Florida. I don't know if that story is true or not, but it's just adds a little flavor to it, a little bit more character. If you look to the tail, you can see the original Bob White Wave Riding Vehicles logo. This would be the first rendition of Wave Riding Vehicles before we would just go over to using the standard Dolphin logo. I started doing the restoration on this board. Originally, I was just gonna sand it, try to get some of the color back, get it out of the gloss coat, and it came out pretty good. I sanded the panel off, and then I started looking at the foam, and I'm like, damn, it's so white. The stringer's so sick. I wish I could just deglass it and clean it up. But I always have this weird qualm with deglassing boards. Does something die when you do that? I don't want to be the next shaper to touch it. You know, some guy shaped that board and then it was glassed by their glasser, and that's it. Usually you don't get a second chance at it, but now we have the tools and the techniques to get a second chance at it. So I thought about it, I'm like, well, shit. Marty Kiesecker, the guy that shaped it, which makes it even more special to me, he still works for us. So he shaped this board 55, 56 years ago, something like that. And I hit him up. I said, hey, Marty, would you be willing to maybe scrub this out if I did it? He goes, yeah, I'll take a look at it. So we're going to get the glass off it, get it up to him to scrub it, and put it back together, get it seaworthy. So like I said before, I rough sanded the whole board because I didn't really have the intention on taking the glass off it. And there's a couple minor dings going throughout the board, but I don't think I'll have to do any serious foam replacement. One of the things that I did do was remove the original fin box right back there and insert some Clark foam into it. The box was cracked, and it was a Fins Unlimited 1 or Bane Box 1, I've also heard them called. This would have been similar to, if not the original fin that came with this board. If I feel frisky, I might make one out of full glass just to fit into a traditional long box. But aside from that, I don't think much more foam replacement is gonna have to be done. So we're gonna go take it into the shaping bay and have a crack at it. Okay, so before we get started with this, I think it's important to say that not every restoration needs to be a glass off restoration or a delammed restoration. That's just what I decided to do in this specific situation. And I have a lot of experience doing these kind of things, so I feel like I could get it back together comfortably. Okay, so we're taking a brief what the fuck is going on, and confidently without it totally falling apart or getting out of control. A lot could go wrong when you do this. They can chunk out or they don't come apart nicely. So you got to be really careful, and I don't recommend doing it for every single board, just certain ones. So yeah, get into it. First thing I'm going to do is take this scribe, go around the lap line. Then I'm going to take Sketchy Death tool and go around and cut the deck out and do the same thing on the bottom. I did put another plate on here, so it doesn't cut as deep as the first time I used it. It only cut about a 1/16, maybe even a little under a 1/16 deep, barely touching the foam. When you get up into some of the tights, it likes to bind up a little bit, so I might just leave that. But yeah, last time I used it, it worked pretty good. You only get a couple runs out of these, so yeah, let's go and get to it. So like I said at the beginning of the video, there's a lot of stuff that could happen, and I don't recommend everybody does this. In this case, it doesn't want to come apart, so kudos for WRV for having fantastic manufacturing quality, even though it was like 58 years ago. We still hold that. But goddamn, it does not want to come apart. So I broke the bead on the rail and I'm slowly just working it up. I used Sketchy Death Tool on the deck. I didn't use it on the bottom yet, and I want to see if I could get it to go around the lap line without snapping off, which would be sick. So stay tuned. Okay, so we're taking a brief what the fuck is going on. Ah! It's coming off slowly but surely. Just getting it to start is the hardest problem. I took a bunch of foam that I had laying around, started using it as shims, and it seems to be working. Yeah, it's gonna keep working at it, slowly getting it off. This part's already fucked up, so that's great. Where'd my handy dandy screwdriver go? There it is. Woo! Thank you. Woo! Fucking A. Anyway, the situation's rapidly improving. The glass is coming off, slowly, inch by inch, step by step. Some of my other thoughts at the moment are questionable. I could have picked up some other fun hobbies like going to the gym or stamp collecting, but instead I decided to do this. So, hey, like I always say, Leo's the name, suffering's the game. So here we go. Keep on pulling on this glass. This classic glass. It's not doomed yet. We're actually doing pretty good. It's very slow moving, but I did get a quarter of it done. Man, if you were here to see it while it's actually happening, it's a lot. It's a real lot. So now I'm going to break the center of the rail on the other side. I'm going to start working it up to get this quarter off. So it's a little sketchy and some people might not approve of it. But I'm actually using a power planer to just pretty much do 0 passes on the rail just to get it down enough right where the glass breaks. And you can see some of the foam starting to come through. I did nick it a little bit back here, but there was also some foam rot. So that whole section is going to have to get worked anyway. So I'm not too concerned about it, but you just have to move really slow, be really careful. And yeah, just keep plugging away at it. It's a very slow process. That took a really long time. Thank you to the miracle of editing. You won't have to see or sit through the whole thing. The deck really busted my balls. It still needs some work. I'd say it's probably about 90% clear of the glass on the deck. It's kind of like the resin still stuck to the blank in a lot of places and didn't pull up with the glass. So I'll have to go back and slowly work that until it pops off. As far as the bottom though, bottom's cherry. Super stoked on that. I wouldn't say it came right off. Still had to give it everything I had in my being to get it off. But yeah, it came out really nice. So the next step, we're gonna pass it off to my friend Marty and he's gonna clean it up. Good, bad, ugly, the coffee wore off. Shit, lost it. Don't grow up to be a surfboard builder. How's it sound? Does it sound like it's stupid? Fuck, I'm gonna try that over. One more time. We're reshooting this because I said the people. There's nobody here. It's just me and Juliana behind the camera. Do I sound dumb? Am I gonna screw up everything like I always do? Fuck. Where was I gonna go? Okay, hold on. It was hard. It was really hard. I'm probably gonna screw it up like I always do. Juliana, why are you saying I'm gonna screw it up like I always do? I decided to be a full-time surfboard builder, so, I mean, that says a lot about my sanity. I'm not quite broken, but I'm pretty close to broken.